Okay. Cool. Do you want to start out with a "What's up, YouTube"?
You just did it right there.
Yeah. What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? This is Preston Harris. This is
Ben.
This is Paolo.
Hi, everybody.
We're at FamilyLifeQuote, and we're just doing our daily video. It's August the 2nd, I believe. It's a
Yes.
Thursday, so it's our BNA meeting. And some of these meetings we like to start them off with a quote. The quote just gets our minds right, gets us prepared for success and ready to kill it today. So the quote today, ow.
Oh man.
That was,
Yeah.
my bad.
We can take it out.
No, don't crop it.
Yeah.
Keep it in there. Quote today is from Kevin Hart. Everybody wants to be famous, but no one wants to put the work in. You know, we'll read it one more time, and then you guys give your opinion on it, and then I'll finish it up. And just tell the people, you know, what that means to you. Everybody wants to be famous, but no one wants to put the work in. Kevin Hart.
I mean, I'd like to be famous. I think that was more in like my 20s when I was like, oh man, I want to be famous. I want to be lead singer of a band or something like this and this. And you know, in your 30s, you get like maybe a little more grounded. And you know, I just want to be successful. So I mean, it does resonate with me because I like being successful. I want to be successful for my family, for my friends, my business. You know, I want us all to be successful. So that's how that rings with me. But the famous thing, I don't know. I guess I like to be famous for having a business that does very well.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
It's not a bad thing to be famous.
Yeah. Or for helping someone out, or you know, doing something really great with my life instead of being like in a band or something. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
that's me.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys know who I am because personally I'm not famous. But the whole thing is being famous. Being famous really can't pay your bills. It doesn't mean you're wealthy. You can be famous and not wealthy at all. And a
True.
lot of people, they don't understand about putting the time in. Anything that you try to do in life to be successful, you're going to put at least 10,000 hours. Kevin Hart probably put 20, 100,000 hours into his craft to be where he's at, to be as successful. You know, a motto that my grandfather told me: health, wealth, and happiness. If you can have health, health can go across the board of many different ways. Wealth could be wealth of love, wealth of success, or finance, wealth of friends and family. I mean, wealth is described in so many different ways, and ultimately happiness is your own. So the biggest thing is the moment you stop sacrificing your own happiness, you can actually start to create a little bit of that abundance, you know, back into you. I mean, we can get into so many areas about it, but being famous, I think
I really like that.
being famous is a byproduct of success, of the wealth, of the happiness, you know, everything. It's a package. And so many people that want to go and do a $10,000 seminar over a weekend and instantly think that they're going to become the next Tony Robbins or the next Sean Paul, or you know, whoever is big and famous in your eyes. And sorry, YouTube, I know you guys are. Some of you may have done.
They like all those famous YouTube people that
yeah.
we have no
You
idea
know,
who
I
they
mean,
are.
you could use YouTube.
PewDiePie.
Who?
I don't know, some PewDiePie or something.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of the YouTube sensation. Personally, I stayed away from YouTube until just now.
Me too. Yeah.
And the biggest thing is because there's a lot of fluff, there's a lot of inexperience that's getting on there. And like in my profession, we call them armchair millionaires. And they're trying to make their millions or their success, and they never leave their home. They're not out there pressing the flesh. You know, they're not making the deals. They're
Hitting
not
the
working with
pavement.
people. Right. They're not putting their hours in, and it takes time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, I'm 36. Preston, may I ask how?
I'm 29, and
Okay.
you know.
35.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, and so we're at a breaking point. So those who are getting out in the field saying like, "Hey, I want to be famous," or "Hey, I want to have this multi-million-dollar business," and they're 18. Keep it up.
Oh,
Keep
that's
it up.
awesome.
Keep
Yeah,
it-
young people like that starting early. I should have started this a long time ago. This business I started. We've been running for a year. It's just been blood, sweat, and money. It costs a lot of money to run a business. So it's a struggle, but you know, I'm making it work, and we're making money, and the business is becoming profitable. Taking a little bit of time, but it's doing it. But you really, I had to put so much.
Yeah.
I'm always putting work in.
And
Yeah.
like that's the thing to me, you know, that quote is like, famous, like for him, Kevin Hart, like I remember seeing Kevin Hart in like Soul Plane and stuff like that.
Was he an extra in that?
No, he starred.
Oh, he was a big
He
star?
was the star of
Okay.
Soul Plane. But like he wasn't on
He
this
wasn't that big
huge
back then.
pedestal
Yeah.
that he
Right.
got on.
He is now.
And like
He was real.
just to see like the work that he put in like year after year after year, and then finally he blows up and gets there. And so to me it's like don't take score too soon.
What's getting there?
That's a good. I like that.
What's getting there? Like working with The Rock? Like once you've
Yeah.
worked with The Rock,
The Rock
you're there.
is the truth.
Oh, you've worked with The Rock, you are there.
So to the 30-year-olds, our time is what Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You know, if you work with Bill, then you're
Oh yeah, you work with Bill Murray, you're set.
But like if you take score too soon, like you're gonna put yourself in a place and you're like, hey, I'm not there yet. You know, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not this. I'm not that. And you could just be on the pathway. You're just on that journey. And so you know, understanding that it's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of time. But every day you take that step, every time you put that work in, you're taking a step closer to where you want to be. And like what we said with BNA, it's like building the bricks of business, like putting the bricks together.
Yeah.
And so like each day you got to put that brick down. And Will Smith talks about it. He said like lay that brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid each and every single
Square
day.
and level, man.
And then soon you're gonna have a wall. And so you know that's for me like with the video series and with Family Life Quote and the stuff that you know you do motivating people and inspiring people and the stuff that I do is like every day I'm either learning something or I gotta make a video or I gotta do something where we're putting a brick down.
We gotta
that
put a
we can
brick
get-
down.
so we can get closer to where we want to be.
Well,
And we want more bricks to come in here. So Jacksonville businesses, come on in. You know, we want to help you. You can help us. Come on in.
Pick our brains. I mean, when it's about building the wall, and don't be afraid to tear down that wall and start over if you have to, because you're going to
Oh,
have
yeah.
some
True.
Yeah.
solid
real.
foundation within that wall that you can still use. I mean, that knowledge, you can't unlearn what you learned, so just apply it differently. There was something that a grandmaster once told me. He was saying that, oh man, see, that's the thing. You have that spontaneity moment.
Yeah.
And then you can't remember it.
Can't remember
Happens
it.
all the time to me.
It was is knowing when you get there, you know, because I remember asking about 15 years ago to this individual, and I said, when will I know that I made it? And he just looked at me and said, you'll know. And you'll actually start reflecting back, you know, even if you started your game or whatever it is that you're trying to be successful in, you know, early on, 11 or 15 or 18, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in your 30s or even 40s, you can still be successful. It's just that 10,000, 20,000 hours of polishing your craft. It's like the person perfecting that golf swing. You know, you might
It's
have
never
somebody
perfect
who,
at the beginning,
right,
yeah.
you know, you can have somebody who's done it 12 hours a day for a year is going to have a little bit more of a refinement to their technique versus somebody who's done it maybe 1 hour every 2 days or 3 days, you know, for 12 years.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, you know, when you're getting started, like when you got started at Family Life Quote, things weren't perfect.
Oh no!
Far from
I moved into this place. Anthony was still doing his license. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. I had come from another insurance company that I worked at on the phone, similar thing I was doing here. I didn't know where to get clients. I didn't know where to write everything. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do that, how to do this. So you learn so much stuff. It's crazy. And, you know, I've got a million things going around in my brain every day, you know, from it. So,
But
I mean,
that's the
there's all
thing.
kinds of things. But
It's
you
like-
got to put that work in. You got to do admin stuff. You've got to do, you know, sales. You've got to do, when you're starting your own business, you have to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes,
not
but you know,
perfect.
you go out there, you ask people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You hear that a lot, and that's
why we're
the
here.
truth.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why we're here.
Ask questions. Ask. You know, if you need help with something, ask someone that knows about it, or ask someone that you see that's successful in it. And you know, have a 20-minute conversation with them on the phone, something like that.
Because my thing is like, everything's not perfect when you start, and like you can't expect when you're working on your dream, when you're working on your goal or your business,
To be
everything
perfect.
to be perfect and
Yeah.
everything to be in this like tight little bow and everything to be perfect for you to get started.
You're gonna get knocked
It's
down.
gonna get messy. There's gonna be stuff that doesn't work out, but like every time that you break through one of those things, you just got to think it's like armor. Like
you succeed.
You get calluses.
If you're still in it,
Yeah.
don't quit. You're still in it.
Boom,
It's
boom,
just success, and you're learning how to, do things, and you get better at it, and it just keeps progressing. That's all you can do. You can just keep getting better at something.
Any entrepreneur, their formula for whatever their business is, it doesn't matter if you're a baker, cupcake designer, electrician, insurance, motivational speaking, doctor, whatever it is, there's formulas, but being an entrepreneur, it's not a cookie cutter system.
Right.
So you're gonna have to find what your market is and where your niche is. But like what Ben was saying, you are a full man circus, and what I mean by that is you're the ringmaster, you're the carney, you're the one who sets up the tent, you're the animal trainer, you're the performer, you're the speaker, you're the front of the house, you're the back of the house, you're the chef. You have to do everything unless
Great analogy.
you got some deep pockets.
That's
of
a
money
word, right?
that you can
Analogy.
pay for people. And the beauty, I think, about BNA is you don't have to have deep pockets because we're here to help.
We don't need deep pockets. You don't have to bring any money in. I know there's a lot of BMI places like that out there that want you to bring money in. We're starting right now at the ground, so
get in on the building blocks.
you get in now. We need some more bricks to build our house, and we need some help with that.
Yeah.
Can I do a product placement?
Yeah. Dunkin'
And
Donuts,
one thing,
iced coffee.
and Bagel Love. Right?
Bagel
The
Love.
Bagel Love, yeah,
Bagel
Bagel
Love.
Love Jacksonville over here in Riverside.
Greater Jacksonville.
Bagel Love is the best.
Yeah.
We're from Jacksonville. We want to promote local businesses too. It's another thing that we really
come
want
on.
to do. We want to help local businesses out, buy some gift cards, maybe give them out to our clients and things like that as well. So,
Yeah. And one thing
Hit
that
us
we were
up.
thinking about, and Paul, we haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, but I thought one of the cool requirements that we could do for BNA was you got to volunteer
after school stuff. Yeah.
for 4 hours
Help out.
after
Yeah.
school.
For
For 4 hours. a
2
week.
hours, 2 hours a week.
2 hours a week.
Yeah.
Man, we just, I think Steve, dude, no, clip back on. We see it. You're just about to walk away from it. He goes, I gotta spend hours. Guys, community service. You're trying to build something bigger for yourself, right? So why not try to build the community that you're in, trying to build yourself in, and help build it?
And also, you meet people. You could meet all kinds of different people. You never know who you're going to meet, and that's always going to be, if you're in sales, you come up with stories that relate to other people. The more people you meet, the more stories you'll have that will relate to someone. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There.
And the thing is like every time you pour
You're
into
helping
a
out.
kid,
You're
they
helping
pour
out.
into you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we forget. It's like you give time and energy to them, and I promise you, the time and energy that you get back from them is going to be so much more powerful. And I think that
You're gonna feel good about it. Feel
that's
real
one thing
humble
that we
and
can do that differentiates us, but like it will actually make the world a better place.
yeah.
Because we're gonna be.
There's so
That's
many
what we're here
projects.
for.
There's so many projects that the greater Jacksonville community that has going on, all the way from beach cleanup to the public school systems. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I am part of the Masonic Order, so you have a lot of Freemasons that donate their time. Like for instance, we've been cleaning ditches for the past 2 weeks
Which is awesome.
in front of the school systems. So that way they have clean, water and debris and all that can go in it. Plus it has cleaner walkways for the kids who are walking into the schools. And that was a big thing. I just posted about that a couple hours ago on Facebook.
It's awesome.
So.
Yeah. So to finish up, we should all do like where they can find our information and where they can reach us.
So
and
you
stuff
can
like
reach us
that.
on
and then
here.
tell us where you're from, because they
Yeah.
don't know that you're from Jax.
I'm actually from Jax. As some people say,
I'm born and
Southside.
raised.
Right?
Yeah.
Duval all the way. I just moved down to St. Augustine, so I'm kind of expanding to go to St. Augustine, greater Jacksonville area, so I'm still here. If you need to find any information on me, it's www.paolosanto, that's PAOLOSANTO.com. I am a metaphysicist. Some people say a psychic and a hypnotist, but go to the site, check it out. You can find me on Facebook.
Like the stuff he does is real. Like
Thank you.
it's good. Like ever since I've met Paulo, he'll give you like just a boost of positive energy,
Thank you.
and it
Good vibes.
It gives you,
Good vibes only.
it gives you the good vibes only.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
You can find me on Instagram at Hero Harris, on Facebook at Preston Harris, and my website is www.prestonharris.net, PrestonHarris. My book, Define Your Value, is 50% off right now, and all my programs are 50% off. So until school starts.
So those proceeds are going to the schools?
No,
No.
they're going to me. They're going to me.
Hey, that's real talk though. That's real talk. You gotta.
Some of it, he'll donate.
Time will go to the schools. The proceeds are. I got a family. Okay.
He's gonna start selling some health insurance and stuff, and we got some things going on where we're definitely giving back to the community, and we want nonprofits to reach out to us as well, especially ones here located in Jacksonville. Also, other places as well. We're talking to a nonprofit right now in New Jersey, that we're gonna, be helping out and making some donations and getting some business from. But yeah, my name's Ben. Last name Himmelreich, and that's spelled H-I. M as in Mark, E-L-R-E-I-C-H. I gotta spell it out for everyone. Crazy German last name. It actually means Heavenly Kingdom. So if you type that into Google Translate,
that's good.
That's what my last name means. So kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Good vibes.
Yeah, good vibes. Good vibes. But yeah, you can find me at FamilyLifeQuote.com. Phone number's on there. Email is my last name, first initial, at FamilyLifeQuote.com, or just Ben at FamilyLifeQuote.com works as well. And then you can reply back to this YouTube video, and we'll make sure all your questions get answered. One thing I wanted to do before we left you was to just go over real quick. I wanted to give everyone some information with each of these videos that we do. So one of the insurances that we sell is term life insurance, and a lot of people don't know the difference. What's the difference between term life and whole life? And I don't know the difference, because I hear that once a day, because I'm talking to people about insurance all day. Every day I hear what's the difference between term life and whole life. So a term life insurance policy is a life insurance policy that is locked in for a certain period of time that is meant to protect your income, protect the mortgage. If you have like a 30-year mortgage and you owe $300,000 on it, you get a $300,000 term policy for 30 years where the payment's locked in. God forbid something happens to you, mortgage is paid off. But whole life is something completely different, which the premiums are much more expensive for whole life, but it is a vehicle that if you get into it when you're young enough, you can start seeing returns on your money, and you can borrow money from it tax-free, and there's all kinds of good things with whole life as well. Both of them are for a different purpose. So, like I said, one thing I want to go over is, average income is what, around $40,000, $50,000 a year maybe in the nation, which it should be more than that, but that's a conversation for another day. But so let's just say you are.
He broke out the calculator.
Yeah, I got a calculator.
Dude,
because
that's serious shit.
Because I definitely wanted to go over this, because I know a lot of my friends don't realize how much insurance they really need. Because I've talked to a bunch of you guys on Facebook and tried to, throw myself out there to be a tool for you to use. I'm like a paintbrush in your picture of your life, and I just want to make sure that your family, I want to make sure the family's protected. I want to make sure that you're getting the lowest prices out there, because we are independent. We shop the whole market. Your home insurance, auto insurance, business insurance.
You're helping people.
We want to help you out.
Yeah.
We want to help you out. We want to be a tool for you, like I said, a paintbrush to use in your painting of life. That's a nice little thing I do there. So, all right. So let's say you make $50,000 a year. You've got a 3-year-old child, and you're married. You're not married, whatever, you have a 3-year-old, you make $50,000 a year. If you want to make sure that, your child's going to go to college and there's going to be food for them, and you know, they'll have somewhere to live and, you know, things like that. You want to be able to replace that income for, you know, at least up until college age for that child. So 3 years old, you know, 20 years. You should have 20 years of your income. So, you know, if you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, okay, and you multiply that times 20 years, that comes out to $1 million. So if you died, you know, tomorrow, you were going to make that $1 million in the next 20 years. If you don't have that protected with like $1 million, 20-year, 25-year term life insurance policy, you know, your family could be struggling, having family having to help them out, and you know that you always want to make sure you're taking care of your family.
That's right.
And it's not that expensive. You know, a lot of people my age think, oh my gosh, you know, $1 million is going to be so expensive. It's affordable. It's less than your cable bill. I pay what, like $150 a month for cable. It's crazy. These policies are only like $60 a month.
Netflix.
You know, $2 a day to make sure that, you know, your family's set. So yeah, I got to get rid of cable and just do the internet thing. I know that. But yeah, that's just
Save
one
your money
thing.
from the cable and put it into some health insurance.
like-
Yeah, exactly. Some life insurance. Yeah.
That's like really important, and especially for like the black community.
Okay, I talk so much. My
How
mouth
much-
is super dry.
How,
He's just walking off set. So
so
Yeah.
how much do we really like focus on protecting our family long term?
average people, I think, make about 25. If
Yeah.
they're good, 30,000 a year.
I thought it was 50. No.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
I'm looking
that's a good
at
number.
GDP for like black people. It's around
Which
30,
is not fair.
30,
I mean, that's
20,
come on.
25,
27 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
honestly, taking the time to protect your family and protect your assets long term is wise. That's
Yeah.
wisdom.
I mean,
you know?
25,000 would just be half of that 50,000, which would be a $500,000 20-year policy that you could get, you know, around in your 30s for like $30 a month, maybe
That's not-
even
And
less than
and
that.
it goes on your credit report. It makes you look good there. And it
No,
protects your
well,
assets.
the life insurance doesn't go on your credit report, and
Can you claim it
term
as an
life.
asset?
No, term life isn't really an asset, but it's there. God forbid you die, your family gets $500,000 tax free, or gets $1 million tax free. There's also living benefits with it. If you get diagnosed with some terminal disease, they'll pay out, you know, 75% of your policy to help you. You know, whatever you need to do. You need to go over to China for some experimental thing, you can do it. You have that money there. So, you know, there's living benefits tied in with stuff too. If you become disabled, they pay out some of the policies. There's all kinds of different insurance policies we can go into. But the main thing is you got to get the income protected, at the very least, get your mortgage protected, so your family has a roof over their heads. But you should provide some income as well, because what are they going to do without your $50,000, $25,000 a year? They're going to struggle without that money. So it's got to be replaced.
Hey, that's
You heard it here.
I mean, that's legit. I mean, you have to think beyond yourself. I mean, because entrepreneur trying to start your business, how much money that takes to get going, but then your life insurance. I mean, it's just life. I mean,
Taking care of your
there's
family.
certain things that you have to think about.
Responsible,
now, I know
being
we
responsible.
probably have viewers out here that are going, well, I don't have a family, I don't have kids, it's just me. It's always, you know, been themselves. And well, like what Ben was saying, God forbid anything happens to you, you get into a car accident or some kind of disease, you know, sitting on
That school loan doesn't go away.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
And also, I mean, what do you want your brother or your mom or, you know, your son or your daughter to
You don't
have
wanna
to
be a
pay for your
burden.
final expenses?
yeah, you don't want to be a burden. So,
Yeah.
so think ahead. Be
Think
of the
ahead,
curve.
you know, take care of it while you can, because a lot of people wait and put something off like this because no one wants to talk about money and death. I mean, who wants to talk about that?
Then we'll put the time in, man. I mean, take time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Take 20 minutes, half an hour to take a look at your options and then get set up with something.
contact Ben.
Yeah.
Contact New Life.
Contact us, yeah. Yep.
And see what's up.
All right, cool.
You know, that's the show. Like, that's the thing.
That's the
is-
show.
Is we always want to give you some good information.
Now, are we always going to be plugging insurance, or are we going to be bouncing around? Because I know we got.
We're gonna do everything. We're gonna be
Everything.
bouncing around. I mean, we want to get realtors in here. We want loan officers in here to talk about mortgages and talk about houses and home
We
inspectors
actually
and
have,
carpenters.
we got carpenters. We got some. I mean, everybody's an entrepreneur. So we have claims adjusters. We got
Yep.
bookkeepers and accountants, and
Yep.
I mean, there's so many different
Trainers.
variants.
Scott's gonna come over here. He
Yeah.
told me he wants to do a video. My father-in-law, he's in his 60s, and he wants to come over here and talk to you guys about taxes, which, I mean, he reads these
That's
huge
big.
books. You should see
Yeah.
these books he has in his office with tax law and all this crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
And
that'll
being
be something to
being
look
a business
into.
owner and an entrepreneur business owner, you're going to need to know that. I mean, there's
Yeah.
ins and outs of it.
Oh, yeah.
And my thing is like, my big thing is health. I've been a trainer for a long time, and I do Medicare sales. And so I think I'm going to bring my friend Chris Chandler in. He runs Top of the Morning Faster. He's a trainer.
Cool.
And we can just talk about health. And, you know, there's a lot of parents who have kids who are athletes. And, you know, there's little things that you can do to kind of prepare your kid for success. And
Yep.
so I think that would be a
But
good...
bringing a trainer in would be cool, and then we can all be doing push-ups and
Dude, I'm a
push-ups
trainer
when you
too.
clap.
I've been a trainer for a long
Yeah.
time. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Preston's a
I
trainer.
mean, we can get busy.
Yeah.
If we
Come
We
on,
get
buddy.
busy. Come on. All right, come on, YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you very
All right.
much for
Thank you
checking
for
us
watching.
out.
And, you know, check us out. I'm going to put all the links and stuff in the description. I'll put maybe some links on the video throughout it. I don't know what I'm doing next.
All right.
All right, YouTube.
How do they do it? You like down here at the bottom.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep.
That's a good.
All right. That was a good video. That was really good. It was 26.